Board. Excellent. Welcome everybody to our third Pitch and Bridge startup competition. I'd like to welcome you all here with us. I'd like to welcome the members of the jury, the board members from our Smart Landing Program Canada, our mentors, startups, friends of Input, our distinguished partners, and guests joining us. We are so excited to have you all here with us. We have a great lineup today of 6 startups from 5 different countries. So this is really, I think, our most international Pitch and Bridge to date. And they're all in the animal health space. And as excited as we are to hear their pitches, this is not just your typical startup competition. It's actually a whole lot more. So we have a lot of people here from a lot of different backgrounds and countries, and we're really happy to welcome you all here to this community. And whether you're here because you're interested in this sector, you just want to learn more about what this is, what the Pitch and Bridge is all about, we welcome you and hope you enjoy today's program. I will be your host for today, and let's go ahead and get started. So as you all noticed, we will be recording the event. So please make sure to keep yourself off camera if you don't want to be in the recording, although nobody will be here except for the speakers. Make sure to mute yourself if you're not talking. So I think everyone's doing a great job of that. We're all really accustomed to this online world now. And it would really help us out if you just put after your name if you are a mentor, a startup, the name of your startup, or a partner or a jury member. So especially for the jury members, we'd like to make sure that I think we can rename you. So we may have done that already, but just help us stay organized today so everybody knows who everybody is. Okay, so we're going to just have a very, very short introduction from our partners, and then we will dive into the pitches. We have 10 minutes with each company today, so 5 minutes pitch, 5 minutes Q&A from our expert jury panel. Then we'll take a break. The jury will come with me into the deliberation room. We have a breakout room here in Zoom, and everybody else is welcome to join us in the Gather Round platform for a little bit of networking. And Kata will tell you more about how that's going to work as we get to that part in the program. Then we'll all come back here into this Zoom room and we'll announce the winners for today's competition. So first, this is definitely a collaborative effort. We would not be here today without all of the amazing work and support of all of our partners. So I'd like to give everybody a chance to just say a few words about their organizations. So I will start. My name is Mary Alcantara. I'm representing the Smart Landing Program. The Smart Landing Program is a global initiative, a framework for supporting startups in accessing new markets. We do this by delivering custom tailor-made programs such as this one to help companies access talent and resources from around the world. The Smart Landing Program Canada is the host for today's event. This is our flagship location. We really have a great network and great support from a lot of different partners, mostly organized around Prince Edward Island. One of those is the PEI BioAlliance, and the Emergence program is part of their organization, so you'll hear a bit from them in a moment. But really what we try to do is we believe talent is distributed everywhere, but resources are not, and we try to change that by providing warm ecosystems for people to land. So this whole collaboration was really born out of efforts from Input Hungary, where we are based. And so without further ado, I'd like to ask Angela Gustos to say a few words about Input.
Thank you, Mary. It's a pleasure to be here for the third time as representing Input program, and it's also a pleasure for our program to be part of this great international initiation. As you can see, one of our main goals is to help Hungarian startups in entering the global markets. And please, next slide. So as you can see, we have 5 main pillars for that. One of them is the International Soft Landing Program. That's the part why we are here today. We are not just trying to have the Hungarian ecosystem, but also trying to connect international ecosystems. And it's a great pleasure to be here. And I'm giving the word to Victoria, who will tell more about the Scale and Connect.
Thank you so much, Angie, and thank you so much for inviting us. We're so excited to be here. This is a project that is very close to our heart. We have been working with Pitch and Bridge for the past events, and every time it's even more impressive, and it's really impressive everything that they have achieved so far. We are a global initiative, Scale and Connect, and we provide support to entrepreneurs and their ventures through mentorship. Our mentors have supported with pitches that you're going to be seeing today, but we also provide business development mentors and entry market mentors, which are going to be involved in this project as well. that's it for me, and I'm really excited to see all the projects. Thank you so much.
Great. So yes, as we discussed, so Smart Lending Program could not be here without all of our partners. We had input, really did a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the recruitment, and Scale and Connect providing the mentors, supporting our startups. And we obviously always need to have an amazing host sponsor organization, and that was Emergence for this one. And it's been a real privilege working with the entire Emergence team. But I'd like to ask Jason Cleaversmith to just say a few words of welcome.
Thank you, Mary. Good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. Jason Cleaversmith from the PEI BioAlliance here. We're a cluster development organization, the bioscience sector, with a specific focus on the companies who are presenting today. It's very dear to our heart. It's the second largest contributor to GDP in PEI, and it's been a delight to work with Mary and the team there to host this event today. So Emergence is an incubator, virtual incubator, where we try and accelerate companies' pathway into the marketplace and provide the necessary support and advice to get you there quickly. So a great springboard into North America for those companies in Europe.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jason. I'd also like to give a special shout out to our mentors, our Scale and Connect mentors who supported the startup. So every startup who made it to the finalist round was able to have 2 dedicated mentoring sessions with these amazing, very experienced mentors. So we hope that even if you don't walk away a winner from today's event, we really tried to provide a lot of value to anybody that was a participant. And we also will continue that value by having a little bit of time for networking and a chance to make some new connections. So as I say your name, if you want to just give a little wave, I'm not sure if everybody can see you, but we had Lucas Neves with here. Thank you, Lucas. Niadia Cavalcante. Hi, Niadia. Chris Odu. Thanks, Chris. Lee Purnell. Lee, if you're here. Magna Kubitska. And Akush Tornai. So you can see even our mentor network is distributed around the world. We have Brazil, Poland, Hungary, the UK. So we have a big distribution of people. And now I'd also like to introduce our jury. So we have 4 amazing members of our jury panel today, and they are going to be grilling you in the Q&A section. So in no particular order, we have Don Ridley, a mentor in residence from the PEI BioAlliance. Hi, Don. We have Byron Beeler, also affiliated with the Emergence program and president of Beeler Consulting. Hi, Byron. And we have Ron Myers with us, general partner at Island Capital Partners, and also Philip Chow, a venture partner from Odyssey Ventures. So we have kind of two representatives from Emergence and 2 VCs here with us today. So thank you all, gentlemen, for donating your time and experience, and we're excited to your feedback in the Q&A. Okay, I think we have arrived to the moments you've been all waiting for. We will have 6 startups presenting. This will be the order for the pitches. We're going to post this in the chat as well, and I will always announce who's coming next. So AgriNinja, you are going to be up first. As soon as I take off my slides, I'll ask you to share yours. Then we have Anyfair Bio, FinAdvance, Pondus, Terra Nutritech, and WeCow. Okay, so at Anyfair Bio, you are on deck, and I will go ahead and take down my screen share. And Tomasz from AgriNinja, you will be our first presenter.
Hello, everyone. Great. Could you see my presentation?
Yes, it looks great. I will keep strict track of the time, and when you start speaking, I'll set my timer.
Okay, so hi, everyone, and welcome. I am Tomasz Bodnar from AgriNinja. I am the CEO of the Hungarian agri-startup. So today I got to say something about the information shortage in the cattle farming as the first problem we try to solve. As we dig deeper and found that the nutrition, the animal welfare, the medical treatment, the whole sales process and whole logistics are mostly depends on precise data and quality of information. But to gather this information and to collect all this data is really risky, time consuming. You have to allocate a lot of workforce for that, and it's really stressful, not just for the workforce, but for the animals as well. So usually farmers tend to skip this measuring and scaling processes. That's why it leads to suboptimal cattle management. That's how we found our first solution for beef cattle. We call it Beef is Ready. You just need your smartphone and have to attach your camera with our mobile application. And with that, you will be able to measure your cattle's weight with 3 easy steps. You just have to take a photo from 3 meters, and the application will give you a 95% accurate estimation for the cattle's weight in 20 seconds. So it's quick, easy to use, and stressless as well. We collected all this information and tried to use these data to allocate it and have it presented in a very cool software. We call it Cattle Hub and Radio Hub, and it's a cloud-based herd management software with a lot of functionality. A lot of functionality are already on the market, and some of it's in the backlog we try to reach and solve. So the focus is on to gather all these data and convert it, transform it to information, and help farmers to have objective and data-driven decisions during their daily operation. But we started all of this from the beef producer side and cattle side, and a lot of asks and needs and requirements came to us from the dairy side as well. That's how we ended with our newest solution. We call it Dairy SG, like Stargate. So it's a 3D sensor system mounted over a paddock corridor, and we are able to to make an automated monitoring. And the main function of our system is cattle monitoring with body condition scoring, leanness detection, weight, and withers height measurement. And you can use it for automated or manual operation as well. And we providing the cloud-based reporting platform behind that. So we are using innovative 3D and AI technology to be sure that you will have all the info you need. Let's say something about our competition. Well, we can say we have a few competitors on the market, but not many, because the mobile application has no direct competitor, and the dairy fixed automated version, the big system, has only competitors in case of big and huge large companies like Delaval with large capex needs and large investment needs. But let's say the traditional competitors can be measuring sticks and scales as well. But our USP, I think, is that we are able to grant a quick, cost-effective, easy-to-use, and stressless solution for all of these information gathering. So our market strategy is that we are aiming for 4 birds, and for the biggest cattle farmer nations like Brazil or the UK, and especially for North America. The market size is really huge. There are over 1 billion cattle globally, and we are aiming for more than 200,000 potential farmers. So our traction, we have released our first product in 2019, and we have already more than 250 users worldwide. We have more than 10 resellers partners, and have numerous awards as well. You can see that our team contains
5 seconds.
Production team and sales team as well. And why Canada? Because it has a great high potential. We have really cool partners there, like University of Guelph, University of Toronto, or Saskatchewan. So there's a great startup community, and we want to join that. So please join us to revolutionize the cattle industry. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tamás. You can go ahead and take down your slides now. And we have questions from the jury. So who would like to go first? Who has a question or a comment for Tamás?
Could you give us a little more depth in terms of what you're measuring?
Well, weight, cattle's weight. With the mobile application, you are able to weight your cattle. That's the main focus. But with the automated and fixed system for dairy, you are able to detect lameness. You are able to check, continuously monitor, let's say 2 or 3 times a day, the body condition and changes in the body condition, as well as you are able to to measure weight and breeder's height as well.
Okay, thank you.
Great, welcome.
And the accuracy of that product. So if we were to take a
which one, the mobile one or the dairy one?
Both, please.
Well, the mobile application is able to provide 95% accuracy, and the dairy one, well, it's just out of market and on the market, and we are able to provide cool accuracy over 93%, but it's continuously upgrading as we are gathering all this measurement data. So let's say the application and the algorithm will be better and better day by day.
Just following up on the 95% accuracy point,
Yep.
how obviously you are saying that you need the farmer to take pictures of the cow. How strict are we talking about in terms of graphic resolutions or the way you take the picture, or is there at one point you can move to a fact that where some CCTV installed from afar can just gauge it, even if it's from a funny angle or if it's a picture with like 3 cows?
Well, you have to be perpendicular, and you have to be have to take a side view picture of the cattle from 3 meters with the mobile application. So the mobile application is limiting you to have this aim to approach the cattle in just 3 meters away and take a photo with our 3D camera. We are using Intel Renaissance 3D camera, so it's, let's say, a widespread commercial camera.
Fair.
And about the fixed product for dairy, it's a fixed camera, and all the dairy cattle are walking under the camera in a narrow paddock corridor. So it's automated. You don't have to intervene. We have to use a mobile application for beef producers, because in dairy business, there are a strict corridor when they are moving under that 2 times or 3 times a day. But in beef business, you have to go to the grazing fields when there are at least a half-year period where the cattle are just there.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to be mobile.
That milks 400 dairy cows.
Yep.
He has bracelets on the cows' feet to measure lameness, goes directly to their computer now. What do you do to replace that kind of operation when you can do it so easily with a bracelet on a cow's foot?
Well, you can do it, but you cannot monitor the body condition as well. So it's a complex system. They go in under that, and we give you alerts and reports in daily frequency.
Okay, thank you. I think, unfortunately, we're out of time for questions, but that was great. Thank you very much. That was the Agro Ninja team. Next up, we have Anyfair Bio, and FinAdvance, you are on deck.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. I hope you can all hear and see me all right. Is the screen up?
Yep, we can see the screen. It looks great. Your 5 minutes starts now.
All right. So, hi everybody, my name is Simo Ailila. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Anyfair Bio. We are a recent startup based out of Finland, a spin-off company from the Technical Research Center of Finland, VTT. And we're in the business of brewing sustainable protein. So we're initially targeting the aquaculture sector with our product. The reasons are quite obvious. Most people are aware that the world's oceans are in very poor health. Overfishing is a global phenomenon. We've not been able to catch more wild fish in more than 3 decades. That means that as seafood demand keeps on growing every year, that demand has to be met by aquaculture. And we've seen a tremendous growth in aquaculture over the past 30 years. And we actually nowadays produce more seafood via fish farming than what's caught wild. That in turn has given rise to a huge sector providing feed to farmed marine organisms. Really, far back in the day, you would just feed other fish to farmed fish, but that's a very finite resource. So nowadays, what most feed is based on is soy, and especially from a European perspective, that's a big issue because we import all of it from South America, where it's very strongly associated with deforestation. So the aquafeed sector is really desperate to shake off their dependence on imported soy. So that's where we target our product. It's a whole fungal biomass produced via fermentation. It's very high in protein. We can tailor it to between 60 and 70% protein, the remainder being good quality carbohydrate, mainly beta-glucan. The product is intended as a drop-in replacement for what the industry currently uses, which is soy protein concentrate. So they don't need to change their feed formulations. They can just swap this stuff for their soy. What makes us rather unique in the field, being a biotech startup, is that we're actually backed by more than 50 years of industrial history. Our solution or our process is actually based on something that was developed right here in Finland, beginning in the 1960s. The forestry sector, which is a cornerstone of our economy, also, of course, very important in Canada, developed this process to treat their side streams. So when they were making pulp and paper, they used to produce a water rich in organics that they could no longer just dump into lakes and rivers, but it needed to be treated in some way. So they came up with this ingenious process where you actually grow a fungal biomass on the stream, you get pure water, and you get a valuable side product. Unfortunately, this process was up and running for more than 15 years at 2 sites. The product was sold in the Finnish market as feed for pigs and poultry. Unfortunately, it came to a close in 1991 because the original feedstock ran out. There's no more of these sulfite pulp mills in Finland, and there was no demand for sustainable protein in the early 90s. Well, that has obviously changed, and we have taken this tried and tested process, and we've tailored it to work with other side streams that are available globally today, mainly from the bioethanol industry. At the same time, we've improved the product quality, pushing the protein content from 50%, what it used to be, up to 65%. That's what's needed to access the high-value aquafeed market. So the product trades in the high-value protein concentrates category. Founder team is really strong in biotech, ensuring that we can keep on improving the process and product as we're moving along. The basic concept is the same as in the original plants in Finland, just that we're mainly targeting now building the plants as bolt-on additions to ethanol plants, taking their stillage or vinasse and upgrading that to high-value aquafeed protein. What's great is that we have all the original data on the plants that existed in Finland. We know what it costs to build a plant. We know what it costs to operate one, so we can make very accurate estimates on the economics of this thing. So we can show that we can produce a product that's at cost parity with soy protein concentrate while paying back the capex in 3 to 4 years' time. That makes us really unique in on the alternative protein space. There's a lot of startups working on growing microbes for food and feed. But if you look at the aquaculture sector in particular, there's nobody that can credibly use a renewable feedstock and compete with soy on price. And the feed industry recognizes our potential. We were the first alternative protein company to win the Nutreco Feed Tech Challenge last year. But that's where we're getting started. But there's basically no reason why this could not be used directly in human food, pending regulatory approval. We're already working with several food and companies here in Finland running trials. The product has great potential to replace things such as pea protein isolate that's used in Beyond Meat burgers and so on. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Okay, we made it. Great, thank you so much. All right, excellent. Questions for Simo and the NFR Bio team? You can pull down your slides now.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
Great.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, thanks.
So it's Byron here. Would you see this product being manufactured in Canada, for example?
Yeah, so why Canada is interesting is that you have both sides of our value chain. So you have ethanol plants and you do have a sizable aquaculture sector as well.
Yeah, Don Ridley. Just asking you, have you looked at the regulatory situation for your product? What have you done in that area?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the reasons why we decided to join this this program. We're interested in getting some support on the regulatory side in Canada. Our product is approved for sale in Europe, but we know that it would require a separate process over there.
Okay. So is it under novel food in the EU, or do you have another type of?
Yeah, for food use, we would need to go through the novel food program, but for feed use, it's already approved. So it's a more easy route, and we have all the historic use in Finland that supports. So it's actually just going through the Commission's approval right now.
And what is the cost, the final cost, compared to competitive aqua feed?
Yeah, so the product. So we're replacing soy protein concentrate, which is traded between $800 and let's say $1,100 a ton in recent years. So we see that we could match that price.
Okay, thank you very much.
How do you guys? I mean, novel aqua feed is not something that's just recently discussed. It's obviously on the back of the minds of the aqua food industry for quite a while. And they obviously had conducted pilots with other novel approaches. Well, what are those, flies or whatnot? What are the other novel aquafeed solutions that's been hopping out there, and what are you hearing from the aquafeed majors in terms of how you guys stack up?
Yeah, so that's basically our selling point, is that we're cost competitive and we use a renewable feedstock. So the other options, as you mentioned, there's black soldier flies, there's other insects, but they're just not scalable. They're very labor intensive, the production and so on. And also it's just not as efficient. And then there's other single cell proteins, but either they use more expensive feedstocks, they use sugar, they use wood, or they use something like gas fermentation, which is extremely inefficient. So they're just not going to be able to compete with soy. And you see them also migrating towards talking about food use, because of course the margins there are a lot higher. So the good thing about our process is that, and why I think the feed industry also finds us credible, is that this was already used as feed. So there's a lot of validation that on the economics, and it used to compete with inland animal feed, which is a lot lower margin business.
Last question.
Just building on that, so it was used for pig and poultry. Have you tested it with fish to this point? And if so, what are the results of that?
Yeah, so we actually just yesterday received the first larger feeding trials from Skretting. That was very positive, same digestibility as fish meal. There were 2 trials back in the 70s and 80s, which also give us a understanding that it's very good for fish feed.
Okay, great, excellent. Thank you so much, Simo. Great presentation.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, Finn Advance, you are up, and Pondus, you are on deck.
Thanks, Mary.
Hi, Pratik, how are you?
Good. Let's get the show rolling.
All right. I see.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, looks good.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm Pratik, CEO and founder of FinAdvance, where we are replicating human biology reliably. The work what I'm going to show you today is a team effort where we are 18 people composed of engineers and biochemists. And we are advised by a really excellent group of advisors who have made numerous exits in biotech, diagnostic, and medtech industries. And the challenge what we are trying to solve is the huge is the current drug discovery process, which you might know takes more than 2 billion euros and takes over 10 years to go from animal trials, then clinical trials, and finally one drug sold, hopefully. And this whole process is quite muddy. We know more than 70% of animal trials fail to replicate human biology, and the solutions what we transfer, or the data what we transfer from animal trial to clinical trial, is highly inefficient. That's where we need a method which can overcome these shortages. At FinAdvance, we are developing platforms where we can take directly the human cells, grow them in a device which mimics the human physiology, temperature, pressure, the hard or soft environment, and is able to give a disease on chip, which can then be used by the pharma in hundreds or thousands of units to do drug screening. Sorry, it's a slide. Yeah, therefore, we have developed this platform which mimics various organs of the human body in a highly reliable and high throughput manner. This preclinical R&D is already more than $500 billion worth of annual spent only in the spaces of cancer, CNS, and respiratory disorders. And we are aiming for a $150 billion cut, or 39% of the market in these three areas. And in these three areas, we are currently serving small biotechs, big pharma, and not the chemical industry yet, which would also like to test their novel chemicals for toxicity on our platforms. But we are capable of getting these bigger names on board. With our business model providing the hardware platform, combined with the consumables, and we also do licensing of high value disease IP know-how to bigger pharma. This has allowed us to scale quite rapidly in the 2 years of existence of us being here, scaling to more than 800% in revenue, as well as customer growth. We are backed up with very strong IP, fully owned IP, 4 patents filed and 3 more being filed this year. This is very tech-heavy field, and of course we have competitors which have stayed in more or less the research stage. The ones who have gone commercial have throughput which at their highest throughput, they are still 50 times lower than our offering. That gives us a very strong edge to the bigger pharma. What started 2.5 years ago as a one-man company today is 18% strong, and we have more than 1.5 million euros in private and public funding. Our public funding exceeds the privately funded. And currently we are doing a 4 million euros late seed to expand to US and Canada. US and Canada, more than the top 20 pharma are situated there. And with the seed stage funding, we want to build up our MRR to 300,000 euros by end of next year. And this we would do by expanding our production, putting a production team in Canada, as well as getting key opinion leaders and pharma liaison officers in US and Canada each. At FinAdvance, we are really building platforms which can replace, if not all, most of the animals used in drug studies. And we believe that with our help, we can help a pharma develop the first drug for therapeutics in the next first drug for Parkinson's before the next 5 years. I'm Pratik, and at FinAdvance, we are building platform technologies for biotechnology challenges. Thank you.
All right, excellent. Great on time. You had even 30 seconds left. Questions for Pratik and the FinAdvance team?
Yeah, I'd appreciate a little bit more information on what the differentiation is besides just the faster throughput of their chip model. There are, you know, as you said, there's other chips out there, and I just really would like to see what the full differentiation is. Speed isn't everything. What's the accuracy, and what are the targets you're really looking at?
Definitely, that's a Good question, Don. The competitors, they're either in quite early stages or then they are trying to replace the clinical trials, which of course falls under regulatory issues. We are targeting the preclinical in vitro trials, so which stays out of the regulations. And then for the pharma, it's much more easier to adopt these platforms. They don't have to wait for a lengthy 3 to 5 year exploratory project. Those validation projects in our case are 3 to 5 months. So that's one of the very big differentiators what we have. The disease biology, also what we are doing, we are not opening up to all the organs. We are focusing on the blood-brain barrier, the lung on chip, as well as the gut. These are the 3 indications what we are working on.
Yeah, I guess the other thing that I'd like to see is, you know, you make a pretty general statement about helping in the preclinical area, but the actual efficacy is quite a minor point there. Most of the work is done in terms of ADME and toxicology and things like that. So although you will help in one step, and it's an important step, there'd be no problem with that, but what impact do you think you'll have actually in reducing time in the preclinical area?
Definitely, Don. I can tell from one of our customers who is using it for PK/PD studies of peptides and antibodies aimed for glioblastoma targeting, and they're within one of our platform replaces 24 animal studies. So that's the impact, and that those animals, they have to be bred for 2 years before they can be used for a similar PK/PD study. So that's a pretty big impact for them.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Don.
I'd like to ask, is this going to be, you mentioned farmers, is this going to be used as a stall side diagnosis, or how does it go?
No, Byron, it's used by biotech and pharma companies who are doing this drug R&D. So it's not meant for diagnostics. It will not be used at a clinic. But we do have hospital users who are using this platform to tailor cancer dose, anti-cancer chemotherapy dosage for individual patients. So they grow cancer tissues on our platform, and they are able to assess for this patient what is the correct dosage we have to give.
So who do you identify as your customer for your product in Canada?
We have looked at Johnson & Johnson subsidiaries. AstraZeneca has a presence there, as well as we have identified a few this opioid industry, because in US we have a huge opioid epidemic, and with our platform we are able to look for opioid alternatives, drugs which are not addictive at all but still cross over the blood-brain barrier.
And building on that, you are basically saying if you approach a Johnson & Johnson, you craft a program, and because you are not using it for diagnostics, you can essentially clear a corporate adaptation cycle in around 3 to 5 years, basically.
Yeah, we totally skipped that, and then the regulatory is then pharma specific, and then it is much hassle-free. Although FDA has said that these approaches are looking very promising, and they would like to form a framework that when FDA is also able to tell to the pharma, like if you use 80% of these platforms, then you might skip the remaining 20% of animal studies to be shown to FDA. So Congress, US Congress signed a bill in August this year, confirming that these have to be used in place of animal studies.
Okay.
One final question from me anyway is,
from everybody.
How do you actually isolate your first cell lines and for the rare diseases that you hope to look at, and how do you determine the sustainability of that?
In this case, we work directly with the pharma, or for rare diseases, we work with the big hospital who have been using traditional methods, and they still see that even though they have the primary cell lines, their in vitro results are by 2 orders of magnitude or by huge factors. So they need a hardware platform where they can put this freshly extracted biological material. So that's the way we work. We are also building up our own, from our know-how, we are also building up a library of cells which we want to commercialize in near future, which means 8 to 10 months.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Pratik.
Thanks, Mary, and thanks all.
All right, moving right along, we have the Pondus team up next.
Yep.
Hi, Claire.
Hi. Okay,
Okay.
so good.
Yep, looks great. The floor is yours.
Can you see it? Great. Hello and welcome to Pondus, the virtual poultry assistant. There are more chickens on the planet than humans, and these chickens have the equivalent of a human birthday every 12 hours. That is how quickly they grow. But with the current technology available and increasingly finite labour resources, only 0.005% of these chickens are measured and visible to us. As a result, our industry is exposed to significant financial losses, up to £70,000 on farm alone, never mind further up the chain. The solution is the virtual poultry assistant. Pondus uses remote sensors and the application machine learning to provide 24/7 monitoring, measurement and management of poultry. Effectively, our solution solves that labour problem by providing a virtual stock person. By having eyes on your crop 24/7, you can begin to prevent issues happening, resulting in healthier birds, reducing mortality, and ultimately delivering a more sustainable, profitable poultry industry. Poultry is the largest meat protein sector globally, and we're looking to tackle 4 key geographies: the UK, Europe, Ireland, and North America. We're targeting a 20% market share, which still leaves us with significant revenue potential. The Pondus technology has been kept deliberately simple for our target market. It's a plug and play in-shed camera system. Once installed, our cameras take images. These images are processed in the cloud by our algorithms and deliver useful information to our customers via the Pondus app. Pondus is producing knowledge now. We are already monitoring and measuring some 1.25 million birds per year. We're delivering to our farmers measurements of bird weight and bird distribution and huddling. Huddling is a significant behaviour indicator for the health and welfare of birds. And our farmers are loving it. Our revenue model is very simple and is formed of 2 revenue streams, a one-off cost setup fee of £100 per shed and a monthly subscription of £100 per shed per month. The return on investment for our customers is undisputable. Within 12 months, they should see a 5x return. So how do we know the market wants it? Well, we do have our first paying customers. We have inbound from some of the world's leading poultry brands, and we've actually had an increased willingness to pay conveyed by, "I think your product is too cheap," from our farmers. We're very clear on our competition. It comes in 2 forms: nostalgic solutions and, of course, some new tech. But we're even clearer on how we're going to differentiate. We have 3 pillars of differentiation: our product in terms of reliability and being first to market, customer service delivered with our ability to empathise with the industry, and unprecedented cost performance. The roadmap ahead for Pondus is exceptionally ambitious, not just in terms of monthly recurring revenue and team growth, but also for the delivery of more intelligent services. By the end of 2023, we'll be initiating the autopilot of chicken production. And this is all being developed by a core team, a highly complementary team at that. There's myself, whose whole life, career, etc. has been immersed in the agriculture and agri-food industry. There's Eric, who has over 20 years experience of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And Stefano, he's all about cameras, networks, hardware, and edge processing. Pondus is seeking to raise funds. We're looking to raise £1 million to service an 18-month runway to really focus on accelerating our development and scaling. So why Canada for Pondus? Canada is particularly attractive for us. We understand there's quite a significant population of chicken farmers out there. And what is more, this population of farmers is predominantly located across 2 states, making our scaling efficient. To enter this market, we need support on market intelligence, the route to market, and of course hiring, getting those vital boots on the ground. We've also understood the poultry production traits of Canada, and based on our solution, the price point, and the benefits we provide, we're pretty confident that we'll be able to keep our farmers, our birds, and our bottom line far healthier. We'd like to thank you for listening, and we are Pondus, the virtual poultry assistant.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah, great on time. Okay, questions for Claire and the Pondus team?
For your solution to work, does it require a specific camera, or would an existing camera within the framework?
Yeah, so at the moment, our system operates through two cameras. They are off-the-shelf cameras. I would say at the moment, we would focus on using the cameras that our algorithms are working through, but the ambition is that potentially it will work through multiple cameras, because we are aware that in the poultry market, some farmers already have cameras installed. So rather than duplicate the effort of shoving up new ones, we'll use what they've already got.
So it's Byron here. Claire, tell me about your evidence-based research results. So when you sell your product, you got what? What do you show them?
What do we show? Yeah, so do you mean what do we show our customers? Sorry.
I'm, you know, you're in an industry where people like to say, is this just somebody's research that you're passing out, or have you done research studies that they would look at and say it's evidence-based?
Okay, so our technology has obviously, we've looked at all the research and etc. that has been done already. So using 3D modeling, masking, different things like that. And then we've used that along with our own skills around artificial intelligence and machine learning to develop our technology. Does that answer the question? I'm not sure it does.
Well, I guess it's your own research. You don't have third-party data.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, it's all of our own research. So we've looked at what's been done already, and then yeah, we've done all our own research. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. So this has been popping up all over. Basically, visual recognition, video recognition for crops, for cows, for chickens. It's been popping up all over, and everyone's basically designing their own recognition AI. The question is, how do you create a customer stick to the product? Because it's a matter of time before somebody designs another AI that's pretty much operating in the same field, especially if you say look at what has happened in the crop space for imaging these vegetables and wheat and whatnot. So how do you create a customer stick and a defensive mode?
Yeah, so one of the main things we focused on with it is actually when we're talking to our customers, so we're going direct to farm with it, is that we don't mention AI and everything. So a lot of it is actually around our brand and the way we work with our customers. So we empathize with the industry, we understand it, we've been there and done it. So I have, so my background has been in farming and all the rest of it. So that has got to be one of the key differentiating factors as well. Key differentiating factors for us. The other piece, I think, when, yes, you're quite right, there's lots of other image processing technologies coming about, is about being first to market. And so this is where we really want to accelerate what we're doing and getting out there for poultry. And then the other piece is just being highly efficient and lean. We're an exceptionally lean team. We bootstrapped all of our development so far. And I think if we can be lean and retain a very low cost base, we can be very competitive on a very crude metric, which is price.
Fair, thank you.
I guess the only question I had is that there is such so much research in this area and so many different AI solutions coming along. How do you expect to what are the differentiating characteristics that your algorithm is going to have in the future?
Yeah, I think it'll, oh gosh, it's how much you can disclose really, I guess, in this point. But I think there's three components to our algorithms and our technology at the moment, which we believe is very defensible, and they're currently going through grounds for patenting. So I obviously can't describe lots and lots of them, but we believe it will be in the core of our technology.
And what is the selling price to your customer, and how much margin do you have between your production costs and all the distributor costs that you will have?
Yeah. So at the moment, our selling price starts at £1,000 per shed, and that includes some of your hardware, and then £100 per month monthly subscription. Our paying customers are farmers, and they pay back. They feel it's too cheap. But in terms of the gross margin of that, at the moment we operate around 75%.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. We are out of time. Thank you so much, Claire. Great job. Okay, Terra Nutritech, you're up, and WeCow, you are on deck.
1 second.
Patrick.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Padraig Hennessy, CEO of Terra Nutritech. Terra Nutritech is a precision nutrition company that increases animal health and sustainability by bringing accuracy to mineral nutrition on farm. Our vision is to use technology to improve animal health and sustainability around the world. The world needs 60% more food by 2050, and we need to do this using less fertilizer, less energy, less antibiotics, less labor, less waste, but all to a higher standard. We need to find new ways to improve existing practices, but this also brings opportunities. Just like humans, farm animals need a well-balanced diet. Animal nutritional intake must be closely matched to animal demand. Animals lacking in key minerals at worst can lead to fatalities, and in all cases will lead to poor calving, lower fertility, reduced yields, and increased health issues. All of these can lead to animals being slaughtered and loss of income for the farmer. And all farms buy minerals to help with their animals' health. And liquid minerals are seldom used for cattle farms, but are very popular in the poultry and swine industries. Existing dry minerals used on cattle farms have little USP, and customers switch suppliers frequently. And these dry mineral formulas have improved dramatically over the last 50 years. However, feeding of minerals on farm has changed little. Farmers are feeding these expensive minerals the same way their parents did 40 years ago. These methods are frequently inaccurate, labor-intensive, and have few controls in place. This can lead to under or overdosing of minerals, as most farmers are guessing. Failure to get this right will lead to up to 15% of loss to the herd each year. Terra Nutritech has solved this problem and more. We've developed a system that uses animal numbers and precise dose rates to input exact quantities into the drinking water system or sprayed directly onto feed. This ensures that mineral distribution matches water consumption or feed intake, meaning all animals are getting a more accurate allocation of their minerals. We have also just launched a mobile system to cater for groups of animals or individual sheds, meaning our technology can now work for small and large groups of animals. We can see live data from inside the farm gate, such as product being used, feed rate, the animal numbers, stock levels, water usage, and alarms and alerts. Our hardware and accuracy, as well as data insights, help improve animal health and production, leading to improved calving and fertility, and all with less labor. We have also incorporated an e-commerce shop in our smartphone app for easy reordering for end users, helping to increase retention and revenue per client. We have been developing our business in Ireland for the past 7 years, where we target progressive dairy and beef farms, and we hold a 5% market share. Our clients are some of Ireland's leading farmers, and they are our biggest advocates, telling all the benefits they see each year while using our system. Our many awards include National Business Awards, Google Adopt a Startup, and Dairy Innovation Awards, and we have recently announced distributor deals in France, Germany, and the Czech Republic. Our system increases farm returns, brings precision and automation to reduce labor and waste, and boasts an impressive 98% customer retention. Our average 100 cow farm saves 10 cows per year due to better calving and fertility, with a return of more than €16,000. The global feed supplements market is expected to be worth over 55 billion by 2027, and liquid is expected to be worth over 7.5 billion of this. This is a big opportunity to pursue. Our mobile system can be used directly out of box, or the larger unit can be installed by any farmer in hours and is designed for farmers to troubleshoot any issues, making our business highly scalable. We have assembled a strong team with blue chip experience in ag, finance and technology, as well as significant startup experience. This diversity has ensured a profitable company from startup, all while investing heavily in R&D. And these R&D projects and development are currently a cutting edge project to get real-time mineral analysis in milk, thereby improving milk quality and animal health. We are also working with another leading university to trial seaweed products through the water system to reduce methane emissions, as well as doing trials in poultry, equine, and swine. Our rollout is currently underway in Europe, and we will quickly be following this by North America in 2022 and South America in 2024. We're looking at beginning our journey in North America and Canada, as it is a large, stable market with tech-savvy farmers. Canada, like most other developed countries, are experiencing labour issues and will have an increased emphasis on sustainability going forward, making our solution ideal for the Canadian market. We would like to engage with animal nutrition companies or farm supply companies, as well as regulatory bodies, to help farmers improve animal welfare and make farming more profitable and sustainable for all stakeholders in a changing world. Thank you for your time, and I'd welcome any questions.
Excellent. Perfect on time. Okay, you can pull down your slides. Questions from our jury for Patrick and the Terra Nutritech team. They're stunned. No question.
So that's either really good or really bad. I'm not sure which.
Why Canada? Like what's the why is Canada next?
Why Canada? I suppose with our technology, we're looking at the more developed regions of the world. You know, the European region, North American region, New Zealand, Australia, because they're the farms that are looking to get that extra percentages all of the time. On some of the less developed countries, there's much bigger gains they can get from, you know, genetics in cows or you know, other ways on farm. Whereas the North American market, European market, the progressive farmers are always looking for that extra, you know, 3% fertility, the reduction of milk fevers, etc. So they're the farmers who will really adopt our technology quicker, we feel.
Okay, thank you.
Inspiring here. Who are your current customers in Europe? What sector of the ag business do they represent?
So in the Irish context, we're direct to farm, and we have our technology on about 350 farms. In general, they're the top 20% of dairy and beef farms. We've systems gone into France, Germany, Czech Republic, and again, they're the larger, more progressive farms that are focused on the fine margins of their business.
So who do you see as your potential customer in Canada?
So the end customer again would be probably the top 20% of dairy farms, the larger farms, the more progressive ones. Ideally, we would work with a distributor on the ground who has a footprint in on those farms, who's looking for a business model that they can get the recurring revenue from. Ultimately, what our business is, it's the same as a printer model. You get your technology in on farm, and through that, then you're going to be selling the consumables, the minerals, you know, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. So it's a very robust business from that perspective. You have a one sale, but from that you just get that recurring income all of the time with some customer service obviously involved.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you're targeting bigger farms. So I guess the natural question becomes how much time and how much work it needs if you want to integrate your system with the legacy systems that are currently sort of embedded in the farm itself.
So our budget system could be operational on a farm in one shed for one group of animals in 30 minutes. Our larger premium system takes about 4 to 5 hours to install, and that could do all of the sheds in the farm. So within anywhere from 5 minutes to 5 hours, you will have an operational system in place.
Right. Okay.
Can I ask you, what is the process for actually making the solutions, and does your company make the solutions and guarantee the guarantee and no problems with solubility or anything like that? Just talk to me about the chemistry.
Sure. Yeah, we have our own production facility in Ireland, and yeah, we obviously guarantee all the solubility, the efficacy, and all of the rest. In the case of Canada, we could go through our regulatory approval and import in minerals from Ireland. Ideally, I think it would be more beneficial to work with a partner in country, either get them contract manufactured or work with an existing mineral manufacturer, because it's probably not going to make sense to be shipping liquid across the ocean. Now it is a high margin business, so like we've done our figures, and we're looking at exporting from Ireland to Uruguay, and there's still margin in it for both ourselves and our distributor. So it is viable, but from a sustainability point of view, even I believe it would be better to work with an in-country partner in North America for that.
And what's the state of patents on your process and equipment?
With our first technology that was out 3 or 4 years ago, we decided the IP is really in the algorithms we've developed. So we haven't gone and patented it around the world. We didn't see it as value. With the new system we have just launched, that is very unique around the world, and we are in the process of getting patents for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are out of time for questions. Thank you, Padraig. That's great. Okay, and last but not least, Weikow. Okay, Tolga.
Is everything okay?
Looks great.
So, we developed the technology for the cattle. We have developed the Weikow with artificial intelligence-based smart system for early warning and the health tracking for cattle rearing with different kind of approach. So we are also focusing on the animal welfare as well. So the unnecessary labor cost, cow and calf loss, and unnecessary medical using is also a cost for the farmers. Milk production loss depending on the health level, and also silent heat loss is a problem for the farmers. Just for looking about what is the loss of the calf and the mother cow, that it is also a really big loss for the all around the world, around $75 billion of loss, and also lots of animal was died. So we developed the intravaginal sensor. It also means T-Sense, and T-Sense is also collecting the exact temperature value and also vaginal contractile activity and also activity of the cattle. And we will send it to the cloud, and we are artificial intelligence and machine learning based technology is also understanding the cattle and give some notification to the farmers in time. We are also an experienced company. We already get more than 2 million hours of data from the cattle inside, and we also save a lot of life of the babies and also mother cow especially, and also including our health tracking. It will also experience as 4 million hours of data already collected. We have mobile application. It is also working on the same principle in the web, and we have a receiver system and also intravaginal sensor. So what about the competition in the world? There is lots of devices in the market, and already in necklace devices and also ear tech devices, and some of the devices is also especially working on just for the calving time of animal. We are focusing all of the requirement with the high accuracy. And we also observe to understand what is going on in the prepartum and the postpartum tracking all the cattle. There is a big blind part of the animal welfare. So what about the investment? If we look at the 100 milking cattle, you're going to see $160,000 of investment is required to do it. If we are going to calculate the younger cattle is also twice bigger. So we have three options, our customer, 10,000 euro for purchasing and 3,000 euro yearly rent and 9,000 euro for the 100 T-cents for the block calving. For example, England or importing country, for example, Russia, Ukraine, and other country. So we have a really experienced team. I also grow in a farmer family. I a little bit knowledge about all of the animals, so I just want to do something for the animals as well. So what about the market situation? In Europe, we start in our journey in Europe and 60 million cattle in Europe. But if we are looking about the North American, it is twice time bigger than the Europe. So we are really willing to make some investment and make some progress in the Canadian market also, because it is really close to the US, and we will safely jump to the US market with the Canadian brand. So we try to make our marketing is step by step. At the end of 2027, maybe more, I don't know now, but I hope. So we will have to find some way to sell our product up to 50,000. And thank you very much. This is the end slide of my presentation.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Tolga. Questions for Tolga and the WeCow team?
Very generic question, barriers to entry. So if I'm one of the existing vendors out there and I want to recreate something like a WeCow, how hard is it to create a similar product that covers basically covers what you say pre-birth or post-birth health conditions of cows?
According to our research and experience, it is, if you are looking with the other kind of behavior tracking, it is not giving a correct solution about the prepartum tracking, because you will have to follow the temperature level, and you will see we are looking about the vaginal temperature. The vagina is really strange organ in the body, and you have seen lots of contraction depending on the blood level, and you will see hormonic differences, and you will understand much more than the behavior experience. So you will see the calving, when the calving is started, really hormonic strange and stressful, and it will give too much sign. If you are not prevent this, you will lose lots of milk in the next lactation, for example. Yep. So you will have to, my colleague, the veterinary guy, say to me, every farms need to be tracked after the calving or the postpartum to prevent some diseases for the future. So they will have to do it every day, even if they are really big. So,
okay.
If I implant, you implant one of these devices in a cow, what's the life expectancy in that animal? Is it a year? Is it, how long will the device last?
Yeah, the device is also cleaning principle. So when you use, for example, 15 days before the expected birth, after that device is dropped down together with the baby, and also you know exactly what is the correct time of the baby, and you can also give the colostrum milk. And after that, you will put the devices for the postpartum tracking for 10 days enough. If there is some consequences about some diseases or infection, you can follow it up to, for example, 40 days or 50 days, no problem this. But we suggest our customer 10 days is enough if there is no problem. And for the heat tracking, 30 days or 40 days enough to handle, because 21 days interval for the heat cycle, and you will have to know what is the insemination date. Our customer is using our system like this. When they see the insemination time, and they will wait for the next cycle. If they didn't see any heat, they thought the cattle is also pregnant. So the principle, if we are going to calculate like this, 60 days average usage for every cattle. So you can use 6 times per year.
6 times per year. Now, are there any data to show that it has a negative impact on fertility?
No, especially we have understand that 24 hours before calving will be started. If it is not started in 24 hours, we will also understand there is a difficult calving situation. So we save the mother cow life and the baby cow, baby cattle also, especially. And in the beginning, we have seen lots of pressure about the negative sign. When the farmer start using, they really like it. Some of our German customers say to me, after we cow, we can sleep, they say to me.
Thank you.
Just one question from Dawn, and I just wondered, does the device have to be inserted by a vet, or is it going to be inserted by the farmer itself?
So if the, for example, it is depending on the country. I don't know what is the policy in the Canadian market because we are really new in there. But in Germany, owner of the farmer can apply the devices. It is easy to do it. But for the bigger customer of us, for example, 10,000 cattle, they have a health management team with the veterinary technician. They will apply by this, and also most of them get the notification if there is a situation. Veterinary is also help to the cattle. So especially there is no restriction to only veterinary apply these devices. The owner of the farm is also can apply it. It is easy to learn.
And do you have a CE mark in
Yes.
Europe?
Yes.
And you have a full security system in terms of the software?
Exactly. We also GPDR compliant company, and we signed the paper with our customer, and depending on my choice, I didn't charge anything about the related of the software. I just take some subscription depending on the hardware and other stuff for the service, I mean, but any software updates free for our customer. We will give them latest version of the software.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Tolga. We are out of time, so thank you for your presentation. Okay, so that is a wrap. That we just heard from 6 startups all over the world. And now it's time for the jury to come with me into the deliberation room. You should be receiving an invite very shortly to join that room, and we'll head over there. And I'm going to pass the word to Kata, who's going to go over the networking, how that's going to work for everybody else who's staying behind. So we'll meet back here in a little bit.
Hi all, welcome. So I already shared the link in the chat for the networking platform, but please don't click on it yet. So my name is Kata, I work on the Smart Lending program. And so we are going to go to a different platform for the networking, where the matching will be automated. And all you need to do is that, so it will be five rounds of 5 minutes long one-on-one networking sessions. If it's an odd number, then it can happen that there are 3 people in the room, but you won't be on your own for sure. Next slide, please. Vic. So after clicking on the link, you need to close Zoom. So because this platform is also using your camera and your mic, and it can be only used on one platform. And after clicking on, so you need to click on the link and then leave Zoom and just fill in this form, like giving your name, where you're joining from. And for the startups, it's going to be startup. So they are not matched with each other, and mentors partners are the other group. So I'm going to leave you here now and meet you on the other platform. My colleagues are staying behind to help you if you have any issues. See you there.
All right, everybody. I think most of us made it back. If you're here and with us, if you could pop on the video or give me a thumbs up. All right. Got a couple people trickling in. Looks like maybe they just finished up one last networking session. Okay, I'll make my dad's favorite joke. Raise your hand if you're not here. Looks like we're doing well. Okay, see the videos popping back in. A couple other people just joining now. Okay. Excellent. Do we have any more slides? I don't think we need to share the slides anymore. Is that right? Just gotta make sure. Okay. It was a very interesting time in the deliberation room. So I think we had a clear consensus, but I wanted to just reiterate that the jury said they were very impressed with all of the teams. So really, thank you all. I can tell everybody spent a lot of time preparing and putting their best foot forward. A lot of amazing solutions out there. And I know that the Emergence team will be in touch with several of you. So just because you don't win tonight, that doesn't mean that necessarily you won't go home with something. But without further ado, we have a winner that we'd like to announce and a runner-up. And I will start with the runner-up, the second place team for tonight, winner of the Scale and Connect mentoring package, which will be a 3-month market entry package with a mentor of ours in Canada. This is the Pondus team. Congratulations, Claire. Excellent job. Yeah, the jury really loved your presentation. Yeah, we're very excited to just do what we can to support you in Canada. If you'd like to say a few words.
Oh, that's great news. Yeah, really excited. Look forward to making the most of the opportunity. And yeah, thank you for fantastic experience so far as well. It's been really well organized, great mentoring. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you so much, Claire. So the Scale and Connect team will be in touch with you about next steps. Okay, and now the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm very pleased to announce the winning team of our third Pitch and Bridge competition. Drum roll. Emergence. Congratulations, Shimo.
Great, thanks. That's amazing. I hope there's not too much background noise here.
It's not, yeah, you're fine.
Good. Yeah, no, that's just amazing. As I mentioned during the pitch, Canada is, I think we see a great opportunity there, both in terms of raw material for our process and the fact that there's large aquaculture sector there. And not to mention, in terms of raw material just south of the border, the potential is just huge. And we want to look ahead. I mean, it's a market that's a bit mid-long term, but we want to be ahead of the curve and start learning about the market. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to get there.
Great, excellent. Yeah, so I think Jason and the Emergence team would love to pursue a specialist project with you to give you that regulatory support that you're looking for. So they'll be in touch about the next steps there. Congratulations.
Thanks, that's great.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us. Yeah, this was our third Pitch and Bridge event, but we are excited to do many more of these. If you're joining us and you would love to organize something in your ecosystem, please do not hesitate to get in touch. We hope to be doing many more of these in 2022 and beyond. I'd like to ask everybody who's here, if you don't mind, just pop on your camera. We'd like to just take one group picture at the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to full screen. All right, smile, cheese, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. Just take one or two. Okay, a couple more. Excellent. All right, well, that is a wrap. Thank you everybody so much for being here with us this evening or morning, depending on where you are. Congratulations to our winners, and we look forward to the next steps. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
What did you think, Ignaz? Are you here? You might have just...
Yeah, it's only team members are here. And Ignaz.
We should stop the recording, right?
Yeah.